Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the back nine coverage for the 309 Spring Fling hosted by 309 Disc Chuckers. I still have Olsen with me here.
I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, great. Well, you're stuck with me for a whole 48 minutes, so as I said before, MPO for you here, Northwood Park in Morton, Illinois. We're on the Longs course here, which is what our famous MPO players do who are on tour. What did you see on the front nine, Olsen? What do you expect to see here on the back nine, too?
I hope I don't see a lot of contact with trees, but I did see a good bit of that on the front nine. As expected, I mean, it really is one of the hardest courses, if not in the U.S., in the world. These guys are really handling it pretty well for, being cold out. That's one factor that already gets to you when you're on a disc golf course. But as you can see there, the temperature's there. I mean, it's pretty cold, not too windy, but
like a little bit of mud on the ground, a little bit of mud that's definitely challenging your footing, challenging your mental game. Yeah, playing it clean, staying away from trees. It's definitely a way to build your confidence coming here into the back nine. So, want to introduce us to hole 10?
Hole 10, 400-foot par 3, nice and open, and
no, it's not.
I mean, nice and open off the tee in comparison to some of the other ones where the gap is, 10 to 15 foot right off the tee. So. Mm-hmm. But you do want to keep it low on this one if you can.
Yeah, I mean, there's no specific gap here that's like, it's just throw something here. A lot of our guys are actually throwing rollers here. The air shot to this is very, very challenging. To get 400 feet and hit the tight tunnel there is definitely a challenge. So the way Dawson throws this works out really well. It looks like it kind of curls up to the right side of the basket near circle 2. That's a good result.
Alex going with the forehand here.
Miss. Thank you.
Just missing that tree. That's a good break for him.
That's an overstable disc, and he really applied some torque on that. I haven't seen much of Alex's forehand yet this round, and that was, I'd say, a first power one that we saw. Executed it well. Really opened up the gap off the tee. It's really hard to get a forehand to push 400 feet, but if he's remotely close to circle 2, I mean, I'd say that's worth it. I think KO just trying to be crafty and play this one for par. I don't know if he was really trying to push this one all that far. Phil from about halfway down the fairway, really hammering over on an overstable putter mid-range. He's going to be a little right. He's going to have to be crafty on his putt.
This is definitely nice and open in comparison to the rest of the course.
Oh, definitely your upshot here. If you just kind of throw it 200 feet off the tee, hit a gap, and then lay it up just like KO did. Wow, what an upshot. Yeah, I mean, this hole definitely plays as one of the easier holes on the course.
Oh, what a shot.
Jeez.
Good job, Dawson. That was a nice putt. That feels good, I'm sure. What a way to start off the back nine.
What a way. And speaking of which, if you missed the front nine, what are you doing here? Get back to the...
Yeah, just...
Get back there and watch it.
Click pause. Go click the other one. Mm-hmm. You don't belong here until you've watched the front nine.
You missed a couple highlights like that putt Dawson just made. So, good cleanup here from Phil. This is a challenging green. These rocks definitely make it an interesting upshot. You can use them to your advantage, or if you go just over them, you've got quick pine straw ground play that'll kick you down to those trees that KO was just putting back from. But
love that question.
Not too bad. A birdie and 3
Alex
pars.
with a good follow through there on that tap in, really making sure it wasn't going anywhere.
You gotta when you're out here. So, all right, hole 11.
Dawson leading us off here with another forehand.
I mean,
this fairway looks like it's got Dawson written all over it.
Yeah.
He likes to power those forehands, get a little turn out of them. Yeah, he knew that one wasn't what he was looking for right when he threw it. I could see it.
Yeah, on these fairways, you gotta either hit your line or you gotta miss big, and just hope you don't dig too deep.
Shout
when
out
you're
to
just
Cantrell and the Mizzou disc golf team for their recent win on the collegiate level.
Good call out to the collegiate disc golf programs. We do appreciate the universities that are putting young adults out there on the disc golf course and having them compete. But yeah, definitely a strong straight forehand, plays very well on this hole. Dawson and Phil hanging both of them a little left.
they're gonna have similar positions there for their second shot.
And another power forehand from Alex too. So
can he do it? That's not bad at all. That looks like it's followed the fairway pretty well. He got close to getting the woods back, just in the back there.
Yeah, a very surprising forehand given his backhand proficiency. I mean, that's great. And that was not so great from KO. Luckily, that kind of sat in the open. He's still going to have to get really crafty from here. But, you know, having to lean on that scramble forehand, is that what he selects? No, it looks like he's changing up his shot.
This is a tough shot.
Oh, swinging the lefty?
Here we go.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
He did it.
That is not a bad recovery for that first shot. That was, good job, KO.
Yeah, he's about at the 80-foot range right there, so he's going to be able to give himself a chance to save his par, but yeah, that's tough.
If I had just hit a tree and you saw me grab a disc with my left hand, just don't let me do that. I'd somehow throw it back to the tee or something. Like, that was impressive.
Yeah, I promise I would not let you do that. And Dawson just scrambling out, doing a forehand cut roll to try to get out of a really tight rough, which he does a great job. We'll pitch up here.
Oh, using the ground play to your advantage, Phil. It's a nice glider.
Yeah, I think he throws that a little bit lower than he
slider.
wants. Yeah, but it was interesting because he was throwing an understable mid-ranger putter on a hyzer release that close to the basket. That's got to be a flippy disc.
Good approach from Dawson. Oh, almost parked it, but tree said no.
Yeah, I mean, protected greens. There's a lot of those out here. And just a ton of
Oh, wow.
oh my gosh.
That looked good right out of his hand. Nice, easy, super smooth backhand from KO. Almost putting it in the chains.
Yeah, if you guys keep this going, make it entertaining for us to watch, that would be awesome.
You know what we're here for? We're supposed to make it entertaining.
We are? Well, then, heck, I'm going to lose all my subscribers if it's relying on us for entertainment.
Boring.
There you go. Oh, man. Well, these guys, I mean, that's a bid for birdie, and that's our last one. Everyone else here just trying to clean up and salvage whatever they can. I think we got a couple bogeys being cleaned up here. Dawson really needs this one to keep additional strokes off his card. But get out the way, Alex. You're playing well, but we don't need to see you all the time. Oh, it's committed. Ooh. Yeah, but
luckily for him, his just didn't go rolling off into the woods there after that. That could have been worse. It could always be worse.
Always.
Especially out here.
Yeah. Phil and Dawson both struggling to close up the bogeys. Next there, just good strong putt, saving his par. Let's keep it going. Alright, and as you guys well know, yeah, triple for Phil. He's going to want that hole back, but like we've said before, it ain't over till it's over. And out here, I mean, taking pars out from hole 12 and on, you could be taking many strokes on the field and be winning tournaments that way out here. So
moving to hole 12, 1,050 feet, par 5, easily one of the hardest holes, maybe ever, but definitely the longest, hardest hole here on this course.
Traveling pros call it a par 6. And,
for good reason.
Yeah, for me casually playing out here and scoring a 10 on average, I would say that's probably fair.
This hole averages almost 2 strokes over its par. So, intimidating just coming up to the tee on this one. So executing good form and just doing what you can to stay on the fairway.
Doing exactly what KO did is all that you're asking for. What a shot. That was beautiful. I'm later on going to rewind this and just watch that shot again because that was fun to see it go all the way down this first leg of the fairway without hitting a single thing.
I always appreciate a fully completed flight path out here. Looks like he tried to follow suit.
Yeah, it was the right shot shape. Looks like it was just a little bit left of his line, and he kicks up high left. He's just going to try to pitch down probably to where KO is, to try to pitch over the bridge, to try to pitch up the hill, to try to pitch up to the basket. See, the strokes just add up on this specific hole.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one where you have to execute the 320-foot shots. Par 5-is.
You do not want to find yourself scrambling at any point on this hole.
You will be.
You will be.
It's inevitable.
You still don't want it.
That's it.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Jeez. Phil and Dawson going to be in similar spots.
Game plan.
But yeah, I mean, that's this hole. You get off of the fairway on the very first shot, then you're, going back and forth across the fairway just trying to cut off some additional distance because distance is essential here and your line is essential. I mean, in your experience, which is nothing, you have no experience with this hole. It's probably good. It's good for you to have never played this hole, and that is.
It sounds like I don't want to play this hole.
You don't want.
Uh-oh.
And so I
Pulling
got
a
a little
stick
bit
out of
of
his
after this round realized that Phil put a small hole in his hand with that branch he just shoved into his right palm. It doesn't affect his game all that much, but then again, Phil, hope you're okay. We're 2 weeks out now from this event, so hopefully your hand is recuperated. But
this hole really does kill, and not only does it kill your discs and your attitude, but
Very nice.
Phil showing us there, it's lethal.
it definitely lethal, and his lie that he's going to have to come back from is going to be crazy. But second beautiful shot of this hole, Alex and his second. That was a great shot. Let's see if KO can keep it clean. Oh no, he's a first blemish on his play of this hole. He leaks that left. He's going to have to challenge himself to get up to the top of the hill. Oh no.
Oh my goodness.
That hurts. I literally feel a pain in my stomach.
What are you doing?
That's a great question,
that's
Phil.
a good
I'm so
question.
sorry. I empathize with you so much on this because this is usually how my hole plays when I'm scoring 10s out here.
Not kick back to center?
It adds up quickly. Definitely. This creek playing casual. Not a whole lot of water down here either, so it's relatively dry. They're able to just kind of pitch up and out, but yeah.
Unforgiving.
Yeah, and there's another hard hole coming up too. And I think people are getting more and more familiar with hole 14.
And hole 18.
And hole. People don't know that.
Well, people don't know about 14 either, do they?
No, everyone here knows this course. So if you're here watching us today, once again, thanks for joining us here on the channel. Still have a lot of golf left. This is just hole 12. And, I mean, I'm losing track of how many strokes we have out here, guys. But it looks like Alex still playing the hole pretty well. KO actually able to get on top of the hill from where he was over there. So it's a good result. I think we got two strong par contenders, and then we just need Phil to stop the bleeding.
He's about to have a stroke out on this hole.
Yeah, that's not the way you want to do it, and he even kicks to a spot he's going to have to pitch out from. There's no way to advance from there. That hurts.
Kick.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, it looks like, yeah, a nice force over, from Dawson, trying to squeeze himself down the last bit of fairway here. I mean, this entire hole is 3 solid par 3s put together. Like, It's crazy. And I mean, yeah, you get just off of the fairway here for what would be your third tee shot, and I mean, you're scrambling for a bogey from the par 3. That's just the last 300 feet of the hole. And oh no, Phil just clips that tree and goes left. I think he just crested that ravine, so he's going to be on
KO's practicing his contortionism here for his scramble.
leaning between two trees. See how it works out. Oh, and nicks a tree right out of hand.
Through, but both he and Phil had their forehand rollers played out, and both made really early contact on them, so neither of those went as planned. Alex turned his approach there over a little bit too much, but he doesn't seem like he's in too bad of a spot.
Pass me my Devil Hawk out of the top pocket of my bag, please.
White, right?
It's on track disc.
Phil is standing in the ravine that's about 30 feet left off the fairway up by the basket, and you know it's bad when you have to ask your card mate to pull you a disc.
Alex being a good sport, though. Payton, if that was you down there, I'd just say no, get it yourself.
Yeah, by the time if I'm down there, you just get a long stick and poke me and make me fall all the way down the ravine because I don't want to come back up. Wow, that was a good forehand roller out of Phil, but I think that punches just straight through the backside of the screen and way past the basket, so...
He couldn't catch it right getting to it, and his one clean shot, he goes past the basket.
Oh
this
my
one,
gosh.
I feel for him on this one. Coming back into the game after this hole is going to be really difficult for Phil.
Looked like good height there, just a little confident on the right-hand side. Airballs it, but I lost count. I just hope these guys can have a good time. Let's finish up this hole. Be forward-looking to hole 13. So. Alex psyching out cameraman Phil. Got a par. You see a +1 there on the scorecard. It really isn't. You got a good par. And that was a solid bogey from KO too.
Scared me, bro.
Yeah, it's really... Bogey really is not that bad on this hole.
No, not at all.
Not for what else could
It
happen.
really hurts to get 5. A +5 on this. So, Phil scoring what I typically do here. We're not proud of it, but we got to find a way to keep moving forward. So, you got to finish a hole sometime. And Dawson also.
And you hit that big tree, came there, yeah. That's the one I missed. Shoot.
Okay, a little bit of deliberation there to figure out exactly what Phil's score was. Yeah, we're here at hole 13. Another challenging tee shot. This is going to be a straight / right to left moving shot about 300 feet down the fairway. Sorry, 350 feet down the fairway. Just past a little pine tree in the middle of the fairway, and then it takes a sharp right turn and a 250-foot straight shot across a small pond, which, I mean, it's Shrek's swamp. So just get over there and say hey to Shrek when you're there. And a really sloped green, so this plays a very interesting hole. Not one of the hardest, but definitely challenging to get the birdie. Looks like a rough shot from Alex first, and Dawson also getting a little unfortunate there. If this is a driver from KO, I think it'll be okay. A lot of left to right moving there. Probably a little bit more left than he wants to be, but he'll have an avenue, I think, from over there. All right. So, kind of on a side note, I'm really hoping to be getting you guys some coverage of a round that's not on Northwoods Black sometime this year, because you'll realize exactly how long a round can be out here. I think Ledgestone last year we had cards playing an average round of 5 hours. And if I'm not mistaken, some of our top cards were playing about 6 hours out here. So it's literally a whole day ordeal to be playing around out here. And we're doing this in essentially third Illinois winter after a 20-degree day with 20-mile-an-hour winds. It was just a ridiculous weekend. So just getting up the fairway here. If you got off the tee, it looks like an unfortunate little redirection there at the end of the ground play for Alex. Not a whole lot of commentary to offer here, guys.
Yeah, I'm speechless after hole 12 still. I'm just sending hope and good fortune to these guys for enduring through this.
Yeah.
I haven't played here yet because I don't think that anyone wants to see me out here. I'll get lost in the woods or something, just struggling to find motivation to move on. Yeah.
Just finally getting to the true first landing zone. If you want to be birding this hole, right where Alex put his disc is where you want your drive to land, and it's a very challenging tee shot. Pitching around the corner here is KO, so I think that he actually is in a good position to pitch over for his par. Yeah, this is the little wet spot here. I still have a buzz sitting in the middle of that pond, but we'll see if I can get that back in time. I do.
Is it OB?
Yeah, it's an OB pond. So there are some white sticks around here, and as
It
this...
doesn't look that deep. You could have gone and got it.
Sorry, not to talk over a good game of rock, paper, scissors to decide who is away and who should be throwing next. So
You didn't want to go walking through to find your buzz? Doesn't look that deep.
that is the most rancid water, to be completely honest. That I really need
Stagnant
like full
muck.
body waders. Like I need a diving suit that's like fully sealed that I don't get water
Radiation
anywhere.
proof.
Yeah, I'm scared I'll come out with some malaria or something if I.
Or a growth.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, in the water. Yep, that's
It
OB.
looked like he was slapped down a little bit by a hanging branch or something, but that's... You don't want to see that.
no. Yeah, so this is the tricky green I also mentioned too. The basket is placed on the crest of a small hill on the backside of this little pond. You let your approach shot get away from you, and you could be rolling away quite far. But
approach.
that was a great.
That was great.
I mean, after coming off the hardest hole, and you start finally executing shots, like even a small 120-foot approach forehand that sticks 2 feet from the basket. Take the good ones for what they are and
Yeah.
build yourself moving forward. So
Really out here, it's just about executing the small, important shots. Every shot's important out here, but just your placement shots, and you really just got to try to stay on the fairway as best you can out here. You're not looking for these big, long, soaring drives. It's almost safe is the play in these woods.
until you messed up your safe play, and then you're scrambling again and again and again and again. That challenge. So here we are moving on to hole 14, the second hardest hole of the course. If you're already kind of squeaking out bad results here, once you've gotten to this point, it's really hard to keep your spirits up on this hole too. But an 893-foot par 5.
So right here is 400 feet, or you're talking about
Again,
Phil
around the corner is
getting
400.
some
What's right
lay of the
here?
land from
Right here is
locals here.
400.
So
This is
Caleb
400 right
has
here?
to-
Yep.
Jeez. So I'm looking at the tree that's in line with the little evergreen, 200 past that. That's when we need to start hooking left.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a really challenging tee shot. If you really want to get to the landing zone, you want to throw like about a 360-foot shot, slightly uphill, that does not turn at all, that barely fades. Like I think that's a little bit early from Phil.
Throw that for sure on Heiser.
You're going uphill.
This is, it's just challenging to get off the tee to a good spot to where you can actually attack the long, straight 500-foot stretch of tight fairway on the second leg of the hole. I know, that's a
Good
great
rip.
Yeah, great rip, good line. I think Alex is gonna like that. We'll see what his distance is like when we get up there.
I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
If I could have that every single time on this hole, I mean,
Alex has really shown his ability to put a lot of power behind his throw, but still keeping it surprisingly low and still not turning it over into the ground or even letting it get out of his hand early. Like, it really is an impressive shot.
mm-hmm. A lot of people attribute throwing understable plastic on hyzer flip-ups through the woods, but out here sometimes if you just have that consistent flat release where the disc just really doesn't move all that much from left to right, Alex can just do that.
Yeah.
And do that well. Dawson hitting a little bit high. I think he was trying to get up and try to push that corner a little bit. It was a little bit of an errant release, but he's challenging himself here on this hole really early, so aggressive again. Oh no. Looks like Alex is sprinting through trying to get to him. He tried to get aggressive and he's paying the price for that. He's deep in that rough on the inside of the corner, which is not where you want to be for your third shot.
Very good.
It's good to see team players through all this still. Like, it's hard for everyone out here, and, you know, it's important to still have everyone, you know, you're fighting through it together when you start seeing these big numbers on your scorecard. It is good that everyone's still, you know, you're out here to have fun, but it is difficult to, again, have a good mindset going through.
Yeah. So, I mean, KO and Alex both getting off the tee really well. As you just saw, they were still short of the gap and had to throw little force over shots to just get around the corner. This is an ultra challenging tee shot if you want to try to score the birdie, but I mean, if you're just looking to get the par, you still have, this is a 500-foot stretch from where KO is to the basket, and that is another challenging tight fairway with the wind that typically comes off this cornfield on the right hand side, which also is OB due to it being a property line.
Wow, he got through all of that without hitting a single tree. That was
Certainly
great.
Did.
What a great shot from Phil there.
I'm not going to say that was just luck, but he definitely trusted to just let his disc do some work for him, putting it on that ante line and letting it kind of glide to the left before fading out. So
Can't even see Dawson here.
yeah. Oh, he
no.
hit early and it just sat. It did not go very far. Have him cut off a little bit. Okay, there we go, Phil.
Redemption shot here, and
Oh no, a tree direction that pushes him back into the rough on the left side of the fairway. When it rains, it pours.
it's pouring.
Yeah, it's monsoon season somewhere in the world.
Yep.
And apparently it's here, north of Black.
It's good for the trees.
Did we say it was muddy out here yet?
Yeah, you know.
Oh my gosh.
The only thing you guys needed out here for this day was, like, tornado winds. Like, it's already cold. We all know it's uncomfortable playing in the cold. Like, even just enough to have your fingertips cold. You know, you're just cold enough to be uncomfortable. And there's 18.4 trillion trees out here that just waiting to demolish your hopes, dreams, and discs. And once again, it's muddy. So just
Yep.
That was so good.
So, I mean, we're kind of at a loss for words here. We're going to let these guys finish up the hole. Phil kind of struggling here on the last little bit. Let's see if we can get a strong putt in to go in the basket here. He does. That's actually a great recovery.
good finish.
So as these guys clean up here, I mean, we mentioned when this course was originally released, the rough has definitely been cleaned up a lot on certain holes where it posed a big problem. But when it was originally scoped out, scratch golf, 1,000 rated round is equivalent to a 7 over par. That is insanity.
Yeah, it's
And
unheard of.
yeah, to go even on this, which, I mean, some of our players, they're not too far behind. There's some birdieable holes here on this back nine still yet. They're close to playing an even round. That is a 10-30 rated disc golf round. To score high out here, I mean, it's normal. If you play even golf and you never scored a single birdie but never got a bogey, you're playing killer golf out here.
After that last hole, this is an attractive tee shot
Yeah,
to look at.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite holes from the original Golds layout, and what a hyzer turnover from Phil. This is one of my favorite holes of the layout. Like I said, if it was a part of the original Golds, it was the very first professional course that I had played myself, so very picturesque when the foliage is in and it's very green. Long line of OB on the left-hand side for those who are familiar with it. Plays off this tier to do exactly what Phil did, run the risk of overturning something as your main miss, or throw a forehand and kind of bail out right. I mean, it's the best way to do it. Stay away from the OB here.
I'm surprised to see Alex go with the forehand on that one. He's been very consistent with his backhands, and
He has been, but as you've been seeing, I think he prefers like the flat lines that don't turn. For the backhand, and on these ones where you want it to move to the right slightly, I think.
And you don't want to be left on this.
No, this cut roll right here, you see? Yeah,
Oh,
a straight
no.
OB. So it's super challenging to have the right angle coming into the fairway here so that you stay away from that OB on the left-hand side. And once
Tough
you are,
work.
it's a tough recovery from there. Anyway, so I'm not super surprised that Alex went with his forehand. I think it was a good, smart play. Sometimes you challenge yourself for your second shot. You may not get as much distance as you want, but
That looks
unless
good.
you're Dawson and you just throw a killer forehand there,
He's
as long as
been-
it doesn't skip too hard,
He's been waiting for that one.
yeah. Definitely forehand proficient player. He's had some grip blocks on his backhand and early releases for his forehand, but it's good to get here to this hole and execute a good shot. Oh, KO bouncing left.
It's not another OB, is it?
I don't know. We'll see.
Looks
It's an L.
close.
Look at I think it's an L.
Nature appreciation.
You're zoomed
He
in.
doesn't look like he's appreciating anything. He looks like he's appreciating.
No,
life as much
we
as-
are appreciating
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Jeez. We know that the animals out here hate us.
He
They're
looked-
tired of hearing discs hit the trees.
He
There's
looked
a bunch
about
of,
as happy as KO just did off the tee.
bunch of plastic woodpeckers out here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Sounds like you're playing the. Oh, what is that instrument? Not important. The one where you just smack a piece of wood. The wood block.
Yeah, that's an instrument. Yes, the
Yeah.
wood block. There you go.
It's like playing the wooden xylophone out here with discs. Like,
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was tracking to be in a good spot there from Dawson. All right. A good upshot here from Alex. Yeah, I mean,
Dawson's gonna put this one, and I can feel it.
yeah.
Oh yeah. No, just a little short, but it was a good bid.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. I
Good
mean,
finish.
yeah, and that was a birdie. Let's not gloss over
Yeah.
that. That was a birdie. I know he kind of rode the bogey train starting hole 12, and actually, really, hole 12 was the only problem child. But getting a birdie here, I think, setting you up for 16, 17, and 18 to, get -1 or even -2 across that stretch of holes, closing out here. That's going to put Phil in a good spot, and we'll see if he can do that. But,
Yeah, Phil really was. He was doing pretty well. I think he was still leading the card going into hole 12, but once you get 5 strokes on a hole, it's good to see him still keep fighting.
yeah, exactly. Hole 16, this is the famous James Conrad ace hole. 330-foot par 3. The basket's about 15 feet downhill from you. Throwing over a not OB ravine similar to hole 8, but this one, the wind was definitely challenging you here. Plays a headwind, and it's hard to put the right disc on the right shot shape to get it to sit down on the green. Unless you're Phil here, you just throw it right into the retaining wall and then give yourself a circle's edge uphill putt for birdie.
Yeah.
So that's a good spot. mean, he can be on track to be -1 or 1 down through the final 3 holes. That'd be
Alex
good.
is just going to eat this hole. This is his shot if he can.
This is it. Yeah, he's got the release for it.
Oh, yeah. That looks great.
That's what I said. Just a
Oh,
hard,
wow.
flat shot that doesn't really turn all that much.
Unless you're acing it, you cannot ask for any better than that. Good job, Alex. Another demonstration of
Nah,
this
you
nice,
can-
straight,
The only way
low
to
shots.
The only way to do better than that is either B. James Conrad and ace it, or B. throw a pink Buzz SS that ricochets off a tree and then parks itself 3 feet under the basket. For those who didn't see,
We're not telling fairy tales here.
dude, it happened.
One time.
And an excellent tee shot from Dawson too.
Another great tee shot.
Yeah,
KO needs this ace here.
every single one of these guys needs an ace. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Turn.
I think it was a good pull. I just maybe a little too understable of the disc, ends up turning. That's not a bad position. I mean, he can jump putt and save a good par. Yeah, because once again, guys, taking pars out here, really not hurting you all that much. I will mention, though, that this is one of 2 holes that played under par for the day. Oh, wait. No, hang on. My data, or yeah, 2 holes, sorry, that played under
Never
par.
argue with the data.
Yeah, never argue with the data. So, I mean, it played as a 2.93, so not even a tenth of a stroke under par. A par on this is just fine,
Yeah.
but a birdie is preferable.
One of the few opportunities to birdie on this course, so if you can get it, get it.
And that was a robbery for Dawson. I know he put that high, and it was a little bit left, but I think on a warm day that would have been in, but that's my opinion. It didn't go in, so.
A devastating dead bird.
For the record,
To
my
put it
goal is
morbidly.
for everybody else to make
Great birdie from Alex. What a
No
shot.
paddle putts over ring of 5. Stop.
That's his shot, man. And like I said, I've really been enjoying him put together a really good round. He's +2 on the round today. He's the hot score on the card as of right now. Let's see how well he can finish off the rest of the course.
His forehand looks like he'd like this hole as well.
Yep. Hole 17, 320-foot
Oh.
par 3.
Oh no, that's not good at all.
OB on the left. That hurts.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 2 gaps. You got a left gap and a right gap, and
Yeah.
throw a straight shot that goes through either one of them that gets to the basket. It's really all that you're asking for. And
It's a very distinctive kind of fork in the road, you could say, for this fairway here. Kind of get to choose one or the other. I don't know how open that right side really is, but
it's about as open as this left side here, but we can. It looks bigger. The left gap does because
How about
we're
that bounce?
looking down it. But that right hand side, you can
Well,
do a forehand flex just like Phil did very well, I might add.
there is OB on the opposite side of the basket as well.
There is, yes. So the OB runs down the full left side of this fairway, and it curls around the back side of the basket. But there is a creek in between us and the basket right now that is plain casual, so long as you are not in the OB on the left. So hit a tree from Dawson, but glad that sat down and did not
Join
punch the
Alex
OB.
there.
Oh, wow, son.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those short, scoreable holes that tends to put a lot of pressure on someone who happens to be holding their round together. So I can imagine a little bit of nerves on Alex's side. Oh no, hanging
Can it get back in? Can it fight?
I don't think it
I
does.
don't think so. Yeah, it's
So-
tough. You really seeing the basket off the tee here. This is a really hopeful birdie if you can pull it out.
Oh, a tree direction. No.
It could happen.
2 OB strokes on this hole. See,
Can't believe that.
that's where I struggle a lot. We're gonna let these guys kind of play the hole out, or Dawson's just gonna punch it into a tree. Jeez, that hurts. So this course is hard. It's hard already. We have a handful of these holes here. I'm sure for pace of play reasons, we've put OB out here just so that a player can pull their disc back and just play it more quickly. But even so, from a stroke play perspective, like, why put OB on these holes? I mean,
Yeah.
go ahead. That's food for thought.
Yeah, I mean, you're already struggling so much once you get to on any of these holes, even the easier ones, especially the harder ones. Like, you're already struggling so much once you have to scramble that and you've got a creek. Yeah, you're playing casual, but give these guys a break.
Exactly. And I mean, that's just food for thought. You guys post in the comments what your thoughts are here on holes like this. I mean, yeah, it's not the most challenging hole. It's 320 feet. The gap is somewhat forgiving compared to some of the other holes out here. But even so, like, you got to give some people the ability to score and kind of change their mindset. Or if you're content with allowing the people who are not doing so well to just blow up, or really apply pressure to those who are doing well that just want to get out clean. I mean, I'm already kind of self-justifying it by speaking through it, but I mean, what are your thoughts? Put that in the comments below. Appreciate everyone's feedback. Yeah, Dawson getting, I think hammered is the proper term for this. It's hard to stomach a 2 on this end. Phil with a great tee shot, putting it in circle and getting a great birdie.
Wow. That's a devastating triple for Alex.
I'm surprised we didn't wait on any holes.
Yeah.
As tough and challenging as this course
Hey, man,
is.
Alex, pleasure, dude.
with you.
Nice playing with you, Mr. Anderson.
Phil coming back, leading the card once again.
Phil, thank you very much for your services today.
Bill,
Yeah,
good job today. You didn't take
Yeah, a
any
little
OB
camaraderie
strokes.
here.
and on good terms after the battle here.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, Phil, back on the lead after hole 12. It's great to see these guys keep fighting through this.
Now, I will mention I don't have good ability to track scores through here, but so these are they're the final card here, and that's not a great start on the hole. You need to finish out to be a top contender, but I think the score has just come in. I think we have Dan Schlitter right now, who is probably just tapping out this hole with a 2 over for the round and a 3 over total. So Phil has to birdie a hole that is really hard to birdie to be able to get first. So if he's paying attention to the scores as we're going through this hole, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself.
This is a tough one to birdie for sure.
Yeah.
I think this one also averages a stroke over par. Yep. As do several others on this course.
Yeah, very close. Yeah, actually it tied for hole 14 as the second hardest hole.
Yep.
So tied for second. That's crazy. But I mean, it's super challenging. So this 703-foot par 4, you're trying to throw a 350-foot shot, or almost even 400 feet. It's somewhere in between there, on a straight shot that just barely fades out. And then the second shot is, just like hole 9, where you're throwing over the crest of this hill, but you want the disc to just go as straight as possible. So you're putting the disc nose up, and it's very prone to just fade out. It's a super hard second shot. Most of our power players can put it in a good spot off the tee, but it's really the second shot that makes or breaks you. And
Let's
that
scramble.
hurts. Yeah. Yeah, it's hurting to watch. I mean, Phil has been playing really great, and then there are just a couple, shots here and there that just worm their way in, and I'll call it the Northwood Black Plague. Just,
Good name
it is,
for it.
yeah, I know. I'll coin it. I'll trademark it. I'll call it my own. But I mean, you just let a hole kind of eat you away.
That should be the name of Black Longs.
It's
Be
just the
Northwood
Black Plague.
Black Plague.
Yeah, there you go. You heard it here first, guys.
Play at your own risk.
Yeah. But Yeah,
Push.
he's limping along trying to
That's
finish
right,
this, and I hope that he can
Holy crap.
salvage a decent score. We'll see what ends up happening here.
Alex just forcing a forehand that fought through all of the trees there.
Mm-hmm.
Got some crazy distance uphill on that one.
Yeah. And I'm sure cameraman Phil was challenged by trying to follow these discs with the sun in the eyes and trying to track it with the display. So good on him to get what he could out here.
There we go.
That was a solid forehand. It does clip a late tree and kind of shove himself off to the right-hand side of the fairway, but he should be able to get up and down from there with a short
Oh.
approach. Yeah, that hurts. So close to just being done. When you're here at the top of this crest that KO's standing on, you're just like, I want to be done with the round. Let's just get out of here. I'm sure Phil is feeling that too. He puts that a little high and he leaks it a little bit right of the basket. It'll be a tester to clean up what I believe might be a double bogey? Question mark.
See you later. Oh my god.
Dawson bidding his putt for it well.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. It was long in the basket, but I think he was not impressed. And Alex getting caught up with that last guardian tree there. All right, these guys are cleaning up what was a really difficult round, and I think they're checking scores. Some of our players here will have good placement after cleaning up the hole here on the green. Good putt from Dawson for an excellent par. So I will mention here as we're cleaning up here, I think it's known we didn't get any birdies on the hole today, but we got some sick pars from Alex and Dawson. And a +5. Now I have to just mention, I believe Phil happened to submit a scorecard with the wrong amount of strokes on one of the holes and stroked himself bad. So he actually put himself out of contention, shooting his final score is +12 for the weekend. So he and KO are in a similar spot. Alex Anderson doing very well, shooting a +5 round, the best of the card. And landing himself a solid second place. So Dan Schlitter coming here, rocking the course. Adrian Chevalier with an even. I think he goes up from about middle of the pack to tied for 8th. An even, a 10-30 rated round. Sick golf there, man. But hey, that was the Spring Fling.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. It's been great.
All right, we'll catch you guys later. Thanks.